Hello everyone, welcome back to our ultimate fast API series from zero to hero for beginners. And today our topic is to study about the request body. Now, request body is when you need to send data from a client to your API. So suppose your API or your server needs some data from the user for some processing, then you need a request body from a user. User will send a request body when he hits the API. So a request body is data sent by client to your API. So client to server will send request body and server to client will be a response body. Now server always has to send some response body. Client may or may not send a request body, right? And when we need to send data, we should make use of the post request or the put request, delete or patch. We can't use get. Yeah, get is only to receive the response body, but while sending some request body, we need to use post, put, patch or delete. And with this, we are also going to make use of our pydantic models. You'll get to know how pydantic models are so useful here. So let's just get started with it. So suppose we'll just create our sample app now first from FastAPI. Okay, one second. Why is it not taking from FastAPI import FastAPI? Yeah, right. And I'll just start my app FastAPI. Yeah, this is it. So now what I'll do is I'll create one. Suppose I need to request the user the details of an item which he wants to buy or sell. So what I'll do is, first of all, I'll just import from pydantic. I need to import base model. Yeah. Now what I'll do is I'll just create one item. We can also put this in a separate file, maybe models.py. That will also be fine. So what we'll do is this will inherit from base model. Now I'll define what are the properties or what are the attributes that I need from the user. Now I need the name, that should be string. Now I need the description. Now that should also be string or it can be none. And I'll set the default as none. I'll set this as ignore. Yeah. If you're using Python 3.10, then you'll need not do this type ignore. Now I'll also need price. That would be my float. Now I also need text. This is also float. Now float or it can be none. Now none, and I'll also set it to ignore. Yeah, ignore. Yeah, good. So these are the things that I need. And now what I'll do is I'll create a route at app dot. Now earlier which we were creating, we were using app dot get. Now I'll use app dot post as this will be a post request. And so this would be my items, right? Suppose items, and this will be async also we can create or just def, that is also fine. And this would create item. Now create item. Now this item you need as a request body, so we'll define it here like that. So now this automatically means that it is taking an item as a part of request body. I can just, for now, I'll just simply return item, right? And I'll just try to run this out. Yeah. Okay, I'll just hit this and docs. Okay, item. Now the thing is that you can see is it has already given us a sample request body, what it needs, right? So I'll just give in, suppose pasta, and this is tasty pasta. Now the price is suppose 120 and the tax is suppose 10. Boom, it works fine, right? And you see in our schemas, also in our Swagger UI, we get this defined. Whenever we create a base model using Pydantic, it would show up in our schema, right? And suppose our description was optional. So yeah, it works fine now also. Now if I just remove the name, it will throw me an error because this is a required field, name. Yeah. So this is how it works and how it reflects in the Swagger UI. Um, Now let's just take it to some next level. What we'll do is, while creating, we'll also do something like we can how to access the elements of that body. So what we'll do is, we'll take it in a dictionary and we'll do it as item.dect. Now this will return us a dictionary that is having all the content of it. Now what we can do is we can just check if item.text or item.text, that is also fine. And this would give me price with tax I'm calculating, and this would be item.price plus this would be item.text, right? Um, okay, it is appreciated, but still we'll use it, no issues. And now what we can do is now I'll update my item dict. This will be that I would be updating, right? So this I'll update and I'll place my price with text in this, and which would become my price with tax, and I'll just directly return my item dict. And we'll just see if our server is running. It's running fine. We'll just reload it once and let's just check this out. Okay, I'll just name it again as pasta. Yummy. Price would be 120, taxes 10. You see, so price with tax is 130. Now suppose I don't give the tax. See, so tax is null, so it hasn't given me the price with tax as I've already put my if condition at the top. Now, so apart from this, if we even want to make use of our path param or query param, we can also use that. That won't cause any issue to us. We can just take one item ID, and item ID we can also define here, which would be our integer. And then what we can do is let's just return our along with item direct. I'll just do is I'll return my item ID with item ID, and I'll just I'll use my spread operator and I'll spread this text, and I think this should pretty much work. Let's see. Well, again, reload it. Let's just take it as 10 and we'll keep this as it is. Yeah. So see, we've got the item ID and this as well. So this is what our request body is, and request body is very useful and will be needed for any app that we create. So that's it. If you have any doubts, you can let me know in the comments. Thank you.